everyone. Thanks for joining us for our webinar this afternoon. I'm Dave Foyer, TRG's VP of Technology, and I'll be monitoring today's webinar, Pathways to Efficiency, Real-Time Location Strategies for Success. Today, we're going over the power of Unified Endpoint Management, or otherwise called UEM, and real-time location solutions to increase your productivity, eliminate wasted budget, and keep you secure. We'll talk about what we're hearing about inefficiencies with UEM platforms, how real-time location data can stream operations, ways to leverage data to slash operational costs and improve security, how to integrate solutions into existing management workflows, and the exciting part, the future technologies and innovations in location tracking. Before we dive right in, a couple of housekeeping items. We wanted this session to be interactive, so please use the chat box to submit any questions that come to mind as the discussion unfolds. We'll be doing our best to answer as many questions as we can. If we don't get to yours, we'll be sure to follow up with you directly afterwards. After discussions, we will have a survey available for you to provide any feedback and suggestions for our future webinar topics. And finally, keep an eye out for emails from TRG after the webinar. We'll be sending a recording of the webinar along with educational resources related to the real-time location solutions. Now that we've taken care of that, I'll go ahead and let our panelists introduce themselves. Rob, would you like to start?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Rob Nunes, I'm Director of Systems and Engineering here at TRG. Been in the barcoding data collection wireless space for 20 plus years, with a focus kind of on rugged environments.
Excellent. Sarsha?
Yeah, hey guys, hey everyone.
Hey.
My name is Sarsha Shaker with FortiGears. I've been with FortiGears for a little over 7 years now, so I've really watched our product kind of grow into what it is right now, and all the functionality that we're going to be speaking of today, being used by our customers and our partners. So really excited to be here, and thanks for having us on.
Excellent. And Aminder.
Hi everyone, this is Aminder Singh. I work as a lead sales engineer with 42Gears, and I have been working with the company for more than 10 years. And I work on the technical side of the solution. So, hi again.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. So I wanted to start off and just talk about what pain points we know our audience is experiencing right now. We definitely know they're going through some pain points. So I saw an article in Warehouse News that the average warehouse loses approximately 6 to 15% of its devices annually due to factors such as like employee misplacement, administrative errors, and theft. I couldn't believe it. I just, wow. When thinking about real-time location tools, how can they solve this problem? Rob, can you shed some light on this?
Yeah, Dave, that's a great question. At TRG, we've heard from our clients and customers as well that they're falling into the problems of lost and stolen devices, misplaced devices, and with real-time locationing, it definitely can assist with that. It can lower the amount of loss, et cetera, through what I would like to term asset management, where your typical UEMs are going to report where you assign the device to be, right? Which location, which truck, et cetera. But with the added layer of real-time location data, not only do I know where my devices, where I think they are, I actually know where they physically are. I'm getting real-time data reported back to my system to tell me where they actually are and not just where I think that they are. Another advantage to that is a theft deterrent, right? If employers or end users or customers know that a device is constantly being monitored with real-time location on top of even just management, they may be less likely to want to take a device home, misplace a device, etc. one of the other efficiencies you'll see with that too is a cost savings. Think of a large retailer or even a distribution center. If I set a device down and walk away and I'm doing another activity that day or 5 minutes later, and then I go to look for my device, if without real-time locationing, I could be spending 10 minutes, 5 minutes walking around, if not an hour, trying to locate where I last left that device. Think about when you're at home and you leave your keys laying around, right? It's a similar process.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, and also to add to that, Rob, I think this, the functionality of location tracking, also lets IT managers or project managers see where everything is at all times, right? And this makes it harder for these assets to, let's say, go missing or get stolen within a warehouse or within a facility. And they also help keep track of who's using what and at what point and when. And this can also in turn, boost accountability within the workplace. So all of this means, fewer headaches from lost items and better overall efficiency, right? So I definitely think these features help organizations stay more productive so that, employees can focus on what matters the most. Emander, did you have any thoughts to add here?
Yeah, in my opinion, being proactive is always better than being reactive in any situation, right? No one would want to waste hours in searching for the devices and lose on the productive timing, right? So when you enable real-time location kind of tools in your infrastructure, they always help you to keep your work straight by keeping the devices to be the place where they are intended to be. And that's why, I would definitely say the real-time tracking tools are definitely a good to go for any organization to, have efficient work done.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody. Those are all super pressing topics for customers as they, strive to increase their operational efficiency. So I definitely agree with all that. I think a big thing people are implementing real-time tracking and location solutions for organizations to understand the use of their devices in a new way. Would you all agree that organizations should be exploring real-time location technology now? I think so. What makes it smart? What makes it a smart choice? How does it affect battery life, processor, etc.? How do organizations justify the investment in UEM solutions, specifically for device location tracking? Emander, do you mind starting this conversation?
Sure. See, losing enterprise devices is always frustrating. Few weeks ago, I have read a blog and it says about 27% of supply chain industry loses 10% of their rugged devices every year. Now that's a cut on your budget for that year, right? It's a big amount. And on top of that, you're not just losing on budget, you're also losing on wasted time searching for those devices. And that ends up losing on the revenue because your workforce is not working because they do not have the devices to work for, right? And then that also includes the security risk. Now, unmonitored devices, they are always prone to, lose sensitive information to the wrong hands. So no one would want to do that, right? And when we talk about the battery usage and the processor power, so the solution like ours, which is Sure MDM, right? So we do everything on the cloud. So there is no load at all on the processing power. Battery usage usually depends upon how soon your devices are sending the location to the servers. And with Sure MDM, you get that option where you can customize that location should be sent every 10 minutes or 2 hours or 5 hours, right? Or you can even set more customization that if your device moves like 10 meters apart, only then send the alert. Otherwise, there is no sense sending the location every minute to the console and end up consuming excessive battery. So with these customizations available with the MDM solutions, I think you do not have to worry about the battery usage. Sasha, what are your thoughts on the investment part of it?
Yeah, when we talk about justifying the investment for an MDM, right? Let me break that down into a couple different bits. So let's take improved operational efficiency as a topic, right? So real-time location tracking is going to enable these companies to optimize their operations by, of course, ensuring that these devices are where they are needed the most, and they're doing what they need to be set up to do. And this can lead to better resource allocation and overall increase in productivity, right? And then there's the cost savings. So by preventing the loss of these devices and reducing the downtime caused by, let's say, misplacement of these assets or this piece of equipment, these organizations can now save on the replacement cost and avoid disruptions to their their regular day-to-day operations. Then when we move on to, let's say, trying to recover these lost devices, right? So in cases of devices being lost within a facility, the location tracking can really help recover these devices. And that in turn is going to minimize the cost of replacement, let's say, really expensive devices, and also the potential loss of data itself. And one last point I'd like to add here is when you do invest in an MDM solution for location tracking, you're going to gain much more than just that location tracking functionality, right? So you're going to get comprehensive device management, you're going to get application management, enhanced endpoint security, and so many other features that kind of come with a standard MDM in today's world, right? So this is why I genuinely feel like investing in an MDM solution is just so beneficial for any organization to just keep a track of the all their assets that they have on hand and help them be more productive. So back to you, Dave. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, thank you. Rob, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think they did a great job of
Yeah,
listing out some of those benefits that we're all aware of, right? So I would agree with operational efficiency, cost savings for not necessarily needing
definitely.
to deal with lost or stolen devices. I think one of the soft costs or efficiencies or benefits that you get that we don't really think about is just improved customer service and employee satisfaction, right? Is a device there and ready for me when I start my shift? Or think about in a retail environment. A customer comes up, wants to ask a question, and that retail associate has left their device on the shelf in the last place they were doing inventory, right? So from a customer standpoint, they're not necessarily getting that great experience where the associate is there with a device ready to go.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Rob. Yeah, I've definitely seen that in retail environments, warehousing environments. A lot of these employees have incentive programs to be able to do their job, right? And it's very difficult to do your job if your devices aren't working or if you can't locate them or there's other issues that are going on. So absolutely, guys, I think those are all good points. Looks like someone in the audience has a quick question.
Okay. So looks like the question is, can real-time data show me additional insights into my security risks so I can be proactive? Well, yes, absolutely. So let's say with our Sure MDM in locate feature, right? You can pinpoint the exact location of these mobile devices in real time. So this way, your IT administrators always know where the device is located. And you can also easily gain valuable data on device usage or movement patterns, and potential security risks or security threats, right? And with a feature such as, let's say, fencing capabilities or geofencing, to call it, you can set a virtual boundary and then receive alerts if a device were to stray outside of authorized zones. So you can have these alerts sent to your IT administrator, your management team, or even your security teams, right, to say this device is out of bounds. So using all of this functionality, you can get additional insights into your security risks, of course. And I hope that answers the question. Dave, were there any other questions?
Not that I see at the moment. Yeah, security is always a buzzword. That was a great question and great insight. Thank you, Sarsha. We all know that implementing new technology can be overwhelming when it should really be simple. Aminder, could you share like any tips or tricks for organizations looking for, to integrate real-time location solutions into an existing management workflow?
Sure. So incorporating any MDM into any existing infrastructure is not a big problem. It's a straightforward process, right? Like our solution, Sure MDM, comes with two different types of location tracking. One is outdoor location tracking, which is very good for logistical companies, right? Where they have devices mounted on trucks and they're out on the field. You might want to track down the location for those devices. And we have also come up with another solution called InLocate. That's location tracking within the four walls, because we all know that GPS can tell you that your device is in building A or building B, but it cannot tell you that is it in the building A on the first floor, on the ground floor, is it on the top of the shelf, in the drawer, where it is kept, right? So Sure MDM InLocate uses machine learning, where we take input as the Wi-Fi signals, right? So in first scenario where devices are used outside, you just need to make sure you have the Android devices, or as a matter of fact, any devices that have the GPS capability on them so that they can be tracked. And when it comes to indoor location tracking, we only need your devices to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi, right? As long as they can connect to Wi-Fi, we can help you to locate those devices within 10 meters of radius. So there is not much that you need to figure out to have these kind of real-time location features enabled in your infrastructure. So do let us know if you need any help from our side. One point I want to mention here would be we were working with one of our customers, right? So that's a trucking company. They work between two different countries, and they were using Android devices for their trucks. And those Android devices are dual SIM devices. Like SIM 1 will work in country A and SIM 2 will work in country B. Now they had a real problem. The problem was that they were able to locate the devices are crossing the border, but they were not able to do anything about it, because SIM 1, when it goes to country B, it causes the roaming charges, and they were ending up paying a lot of roaming cost, right? So they came to us and we gave them a solution that as soon as your device changes a location from border A to border B or country A to B, we will make sure that your device starts pointing to SIM 2 instead of SIM 1. And same work happens when trucks come back. So you need to know your real problem, and you need to find the right solution which can help you to tackle those problems in an easy and efficient way. So that's my take on that.
Excellent. Thank you, Aminder.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was going to say, if I could add to that, I was just going to say the exact same thing, right? So if you're going into an engagement like that, as the customer, you really want to clearly define your objection or your objectives. What am I trying to accomplish with this? Is it simply just deploying devices, getting them configured and ready for use? Or do I want to do more than that, like a specific use case that you just gave? Some of the other things from my standpoint or from my experience, I'd recommend always piloting and then utilizing your vendor support, right? So you guys, 42 Gears as well as TRG, utilize us. We've been there, done that more than likely. So those would be some of my comments or additions.
I'm gonna say, I think that that's a great idea. I mean, a great example rather, that kind of really shows you the power of these tools, right? It really shows you the power of, let's say, a fencing job between two countries, or whatever you need to do. You could get really creative with this functionality, but that's really the power of the tool, and that's kind of what we're really trying to showcase here, right? So yeah, thanks for that, Aminder. I do remember that that customer and that use case. That was a good one.
Oh, hey guys, looks like we have another question coming in from the audience. How important is a device location tracking for compliance and regulatory? Minder, do you mind taking that?
Sure. So yeah, so I have said that location tracking is very important, right? And being an admin, I need to know where my devices are at and are they actually secure or not, right? Let's take an example of few different verticals for the retail industry. So devices should be PCI DSS compliant, right? Those devices might hold credit card information of customers. And now, we have to make sure that those devices stays within the premises, and Sure MDM InLocate will help you to determine that. And we can also set sort of compliances where we can say that as soon as this device leaves the premises, disable those applications which might have sensitive information on it. Or if you want to go to like extreme level, just do the reset as soon as they exit out of the premises, right? That's about the retail industry. And let's talk about hospitals. Devices needs to be HIPAA compliant. They contain a lot of crucial patient information, and we cannot have that information on the loose end so that it can be shared with anyone, right? So in hospitals also, real-time location kind of tools will help you to keep those devices secure and at the place where they should be. Now, if we talk about the manufacturing industry, right? So in my experience, I have seen most of the manufacturing industries, they also have their R&D units inside their manufacturing units, right? And when you go to R&D unit, usually a compliance is that the camera should be disabled. You cannot have your camera go in or your microphone go in so that you can record in conversations. With a feature like geofence and inlocate together, you can set a geofence that as soon as someone enters to the R&D unit, disable camera or disable microphone. And as soon as they leave that unit, enable those applications back again so that those devices can be used for other purposes, right? Same thing goes with warehouse and logistics. So if you know where your devices are at, if they are being working, or with our analytics engine, you can always see if device is at point of interest 1, is it actually being used or not, right? And that kind of analytics will help you to determine the movement patterns of your devices. The one location, no one would definitely want that, all of their employees are just sitting in cafeteria for longer hours with their devices in hands, right? So you can get your movement patterns and you can take appropriate actions on those. So it definitely helps to have the compliance and regulatory purpose completely enabled when you have these kind of solutions invested into.
Excellent. Guys, anybody else want to comment on that? Or shed any more light? You guys good?
Yeah, I think you did a good job of kind of highlighting a lot of the places, especially from an audit standpoint or term.
Compliance.
Compliance.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah. So from an audit and compliance, right? So patient information, et cetera. I think those were all good use cases for sure. I think even with the prevalence of BYOD, right? So maybe I have rules in place where I don't want someone to be able to access corporate data when they're outside my 4 walls, right? So I think real-time locating can help even in that type of use case.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Well, guys,
we see so many interesting use cases around this functionality, right? It's like I said earlier, it just really depends on how creative the user can get with this functionality, right? And there's so many different uses to a single functionality like location tracking. I mean, it's hard to imagine or fathom how far we've come with location tracking in terms of how accurate it can get these days. So yeah, thanks for that, Aminder.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I think you all did a great job easing some of the worries of those looking, some of our customers that are trying to look at new technology, the solutions that we've all been talking about today. I'm looking at the time and I want to be respectful, but before we wrap up, could we all quickly share where you think the future is heading? Any insight on UEM or real-time locations to share off the top of your head? Rob, do you want to kick that off?
Yeah, sure. Wow. How much time do we have left? I could probably take this one for an whole hour by itself.
I bet.
No, honestly, this is something I'm really passionate about. I can see the integration. You're seeing it now, but you're going to see the more prevalent integration with AI and machine learning, right? So UEMs can do more than just configure and secure my devices. They're going to do things like self-healing or trying to head off any issues before the issues come about. I would see that as coming down the pike. I think you'll see a continued expansion into different use cases, whether that's OSs or form factors. So, with the expansion of IoT type devices, RFID, different OSs like Linux, as well as even augmented reality. I think that's going to be a big one, as well as automation like robotics, etc.
Excellent. Sarsha, anything to add there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in my opinion, the future of device management is moving towards more towards unified endpoint management versus just a mobile device manager, right? And also the advancements in real-time location tracking has been extraordinary. So if you think about, let's say, convergence of devices. Now, these UEM platforms, they integrate the management of all endpoints, and these can include your desktop computers, your laptops, mobile devices, IoT devices, all of this into a single system, right? So this convergence is going to simplify the management and also enhance security across all these different device types, right? Then we can talk a little bit about enhanced security of these devices. So so this UEM solutions are going to offer more robust security features, and this includes real-time, threat detection, automated responses to security incidents, things of that sort. And this can get really critical as a number of endpoints increase within certain organizations, right? There are organizations out there that have 50 devices. There are organizations out there that have over 10,000, and any of these given numbers. It really helps with managing these number of endpoints out there in the field, wherever in the world they are, right? And then as as Rob mentioned, the AI and machine learning bit, this is integral to the future of UEMs and in the world we live in today, right? And for example, let's think about enabling predictive analytics for device performance and security. So, in a nutshell, all these technologies really help identifying patterns, potential issues, and also just automating your regular routine day-to-day tasks, right? So, I guess, Eminder, did you want to add anything to that point?
Sure, Sasha. So I just want to add one more thing, that we see advancements in technology almost every day now, right? So it's growing at very fast pace. Now, advancement with Wi-Fi and cellular technologies, it is also making real-time location much more reliable and accurate, right? With Wi-Fi 6 RTT, right, we'll be able to track down the locations for only up to like accuracy of 2 meters, and that's nothing, right? So within 2 meters, you will be able to know that if your device is in that 2 meter radius. Right now, it is about like 10 meters or 6 to 10 meters, to be honest. But we are working on that. Our team is already on top of it, and we are including Wi-Fi 6 RTT, which will help us to locate device within 2 meters of accuracy. And then with this, we also have an option where we can have Wi-Fi signal heat map. So if you have a big warehouse, we can also provide you an information that at what point of the building you have the weakest Wi-Fi signal. So that can also give you sort of analytics that you need to have maybe another router there, or either change the position of your router so that you have the efficient workforce working everywhere in your buildings or warehouses. So yeah, so to me, future looks bright, to be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah, and guys, I would have to definitely agree with a lot of your comments. I've been in the industry for 20 plus years, and yeah, it's been such a journey with technology and where we were 20 some years ago to where we are today, and like the types of data that we're getting out of these devices, the amount of control that we actually have, and then kind of setting that policy, and again, the ease of mind for these technology leaders that are trying to manage these devices remotely. They know when they put that policy down that we have a good control over that device, and that device is going to adhere to the policies that were approved by corporate, right? So yeah, it's definitely exciting. But hey, guys, I wanted to thank everybody. I wanted to thank Rob, Sarsha, and Eminder for sharing, your thoughts and definite expertise. Well done, guys. I wanted to really thank everybody for joining us today. This is out to all of our customers and everybody that's joining the webinar. If we didn't get to your question during this session, I do see a few on there. please, we'll follow up and we'll shortly give you some more information. We'll be sending out an email after the session with a recording from today, along with some of our resources and a survey. So please let us know about your thoughts and see, please let us know how we did. And if you've enjoyed the session, please go and follow TRG and 42 Gears on LinkedIn for more content and updates in the up and coming webinars. Thank you all for your time today, and I hope you guys have a great day.